Hi there, and welcome to the weekly Asylum and Immigration Reform Update, where I share with you 5 recent stories of interest to asylum seekers and those who want to stay current on immigration news. This week, we're discussing
Biden eyes stricter asylum and deportation rules. The U.S. clarifies it is not paying for migrant flights. A new study shows immigrants don't steal jobs from Americans. Moms deported after giving birth sue the U.S. government. New York City cuts its asylum seeker budget by 10%.
I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. It's my pleasure to bring you asylum and immigration reform updates each week right here on the Political Asylum Lawyers YouTube channel. Okay, let's get to the news. First up,
facing a pivotal moment, the Biden administration suggests it may be on the brink of implementing stringent policies aimed at curbing the influx of migrants by toughening asylum criteria and accelerating deportations. This strategy, devised to mitigate the surging numbers crossing the U.S.-Mexico border, pivots towards higher standards for asylum screenings and a last-in, first-out deportation policy. These potential actions, still under deliberation, are seen as immediate remedies amidst intensifying immigration challenges as the 2024 presidential election looms. However, with the administration's hands tied by legislative inaction and looming budget deficits at the agency that handles deportations, known as ICE, the effectiveness of these measures remains uncertain. This move has sparked a complex debate, underlining the administration's struggle to secure the border while grappling with the limitations of executive power and the urgent need for comprehensive immigration reform.
And next up, for update number 2.
Federal authorities have clarified that the U.S. government does not cover air travel expenses for asylum seekers traveling within the country. Amidst rising inquiries, the Department of Homeland Security and Transportation Security Administration have spotlighted the rigorous additional screenings these individuals undergo, emphasizing the use of the CBP-1 app for identity verification. This process, vital for ensuring the security of domestic flights, involves asylum seekers without standard identification documents undergoing intensive checks. Launched in 2021, this enhanced security program leverages technology, including the CBP-1 app, to streamline identity verification at airport checkpoints, a critical step for those awaiting immigration court hearings. Despite misconceptions, the responsibility for travel costs falls not on federal agencies, but on various nonprofits and NGOs, debunking widespread rumors of government-funded migrant travel. This initiative ensures adherence to U.S. travel regulations while maintaining stringent security measures.
All right, time for our third immigration update.
A recent analysis from the Economic Policy Institute debunks the myth that immigrants are stealing jobs from U.S.-born workers. With the immigrant labor force peaking at 18.6% in 2023, data shows a thriving economy adding jobs for everyone. Record low unemployment rates for U.S.-born workers at 3.6%, and the highest employment rates in over 2 decades stand as testament to this. U.S.-born men without a bachelor's degree, a group potentially most impacted by immigration, are experiencing unprecedented labor force participation growth. Immigrant labor force growth, while robust, is not unmatched historically, indicating a balanced absorption into the economy. The report is yet another reminder that, in reality, immigrants are essential for filling labor market gaps and spurring economic growth, with projections indicating a significant contribution to GDP over the next decade.
And moving right along, update number 4.
Asylum-seeking mothers with newborns were expelled to Mexico just days after giving birth, sparking outrage in a federal lawsuit. The mothers, fleeing violence from countries like Mexico, Honduras, and Haiti, found themselves in the U.S. seeking refuge during the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, their search for safety turned into a harrowing ordeal as U.S. Border Patrol agents allegedly forced them and their infants, some just a day old, back across the border shortly after their hospital stays. Armed agents, invoking then-President Donald Trump's policies, are accused of harassing these women during one of their most vulnerable moments, disregarding legal obligations and exposing them to further danger. The lawsuit underscores the dire consequences of Title 42, a public health measure used to suspend asylum claims, which affected over 2 million people in 3 years.
And finally, our 5th immigration update for this week.
In a bid to tighten the city's fiscal belt, Mayor Eric Adams announced a further 10% cut in New York City's budget for asylum seekers, reallocating the saved funds to other city agencies. This decision will see a significant $600 million addition to the city's spending plan. This cutback is part of a larger strategy to manage the city's finances more effectively, leveraging higher-than-expected tax receipts and a rigorous approach to reducing migrant service costs. The deputy mayor highlighted the city's method of capping shelter stays to save on housing, food, and security expenses for asylum seekers. This financial maneuvering not only enables the lifting of a hiring freeze across city agencies, but also ensures that the city can restore previously planned budget cuts in other areas. The teachers' union has already lauded the move, although concerns linger about future reductions in public education funding.
And that wraps up this week's immigration news. If you want to win asylum in the United States, then you should call my office today. We help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you are. Call us now to schedule an asylum strategy session so that we can help you to secure your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's an honor to serve you in your immigration journey.